Welcome back, everyone. What you're about to see raises a serious question. Do police really follow the same laws as the public? In this video, an officer is accused of crossing the line, yet no arrest is made, no pursuit happens, and everything suddenly turns into procedure. Watch closely, because by the end of this footage, you'll have to decide for yourself, was this justice delayed or justice denied? Before we begin, hit like to help expose moments like this and spread awareness of your rights.
We're at the Rhode Island State Police Barracks, and we're doing a First Amendment audit. We're gonna see if they respect our First Amendment right to film in public. I'm out with Joe Orga. Please make sure you show support.
It's a hard door, it definitely opens.
Try.
Hotel number 397 shows an older red car with a Trump bumper sticker on the rear. No car behind it. K3 clear 612. Tell me.
There's no light here? Like, really?
It's like the smallest.
This is the smallest public lobby I've ever seen in my life. My bathroom is bigger than this.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Is this the only publicly accessible area that you guys have?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I able to file a complaint against North Kingstown police officer over here with you guys, or no?
You have to go to the Attorney General's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So once the Attorney General's office investigates the claim, then the state police can help out.
What if it was an assault and the guy left the scene of the crime?
What do you mean?
So an officer assaulted him, I witnessed it,
Okay.
and I told him to stick around because, you know, we're going to deal with this, and he got into his car and he left.
Right now.
That's the same thing as if the Attorney General's.
Don't you also think it's housing like an assailant, a suspect of a crime, especially if it happens right then and there, that they're supposed to...
This video opens in chaos. Before we even get formal introductions, emotions are already high. The auditor claims a police officer assaulted him moments ago, then allegedly drove away without consequence. The frustration is raw, immediate, and unfiltered. As the scene settles, we learn where we are, a state police barracks, and why this matters. This isn't just filming for content. This is about accountability, authority, and whether the system protects its own.
Detain that person if they assault somebody?
I wasn't there to witness it, so.
But we're here. We're the witnesses.
Okay.
And it happened right now. So you guys are usually never there for when a crime happens, right? People call you guys and then you make an investigation and you do it. But unless it happens with a police officer, they get away with everything.
Now we have to go through this whole scheme
Process.
of things. It's not okay. It's not okay.
That's the way the law works, so
That's not how the way the law works.
The law works like this, is that when someone assaults someone, that they are now a suspect, and they're supposed to be detained and apprehended and not housed and prevented and escaped the situation. What's that?
Did you talk to anybody over there?
It took a very long time. They closed the window
Okay.
and they housed the guy and wouldn't come help me in any way until like 20 minutes later.
And they just had us fill out witness forms. But that's not how it goes. When an assault occurs, like immediate action needs to occur. Especially if this police officer is on the scene and they fail to provide that.
Did you get the police officer's badge number?
No, he failed to
He
give
failed
that-
to identify. I got his tag number though, if you want to go arrest him for me.
Well, you'd have to fill it. Do you want to fill out a complaint?
Why do I have to go? I already filled out a complaint and a statement over there.
Yeah, but
Now-
I don't have any of that witness information.
Well, I mean, we can go over there and get it, right?
Actually, can we just show you the video footage and then you guys can act on it accordingly? Because this just happened.
Yeah, we just need a formal statement and then we can go.
Well, I don't... A formal statement, I mean, we can show you footage of it happening.
I already wrote my statement.
Yeah, but I don't have access to that statement. This is the state police barracks. That's North Kingstown. It's different entities.
Don't you guys have jurisdiction over everybody here in Rhode Island?
Not everyone.
Well, anybody breaks the law, you have jurisdiction to arrest them, right? If it's a police officer from North Kingstown and they don't want to deal with it, you guys come in, right?
If we're instructed by the Attorney General.
So I have to wait until the Attorney General wants.
Now you're a witness of it.
Let's go. Yeah, what your name? 179, are you getting that? It's Aisha Johnson. One second. I just have to do two things at once.
Yep.
You see how it is? A police officer breaks the law, and then you have to go do paperwork.
221.
But any normal citizen breaks the law,
They're hunting them down.
they hunt you down real quick, even if you're innocent.
So the witness, or I apologize, the victim of a crime still has to fill out a statement.
I filled out a witness form.
And so did I.
I don't have that.
I know, but what I'm saying is I showed you footage of a crime occurring, and now you should act on it.
Okay.
Because they're not, so we're coming to the state police for that occurrence to occur.
So what would you like me to do right this second?
Pursue him.
Okay.
All the way.
We know where he works.
Sure. What's his badge number?
I'll tell you the tag. Hold on.
They don't get assigned. All those cars aren't assigned. So they're specific
Well,
officers.
he didn't want to identify. He got out his car and drove off.
Yeah. See, like all of our cars are assigned.
He wasn't wearing a badge number either.
How am I supposed to investigate it?
Well, man, that's
they
your
don't-
job. You don't. I don't
don't-
know how that works,
Well,
but
obviously you do because you tell me what.
Well, I'm gonna show you video. I'm gonna show you his face, and then you can recognize him when you go back to.
Now the tension spikes. The auditor explains that instead of immediate action, he was met with closed windows, delays, and forms. He argues that any normal citizen accused of assault would be detained instantly. But when it's an officer, the response changes. The frustration becomes sharper. Voices rise. The demand is clear. Go get him. Right now. When the suggestion of video manipulation is raised, the situation nearly boils over. To the auditor, that implication crosses a line, turning this from bureaucratic delay into an insult to credibility. At this point, the audience feels it. This is no longer just about one incident. It's about two systems of justice playing out in real time.
The station.
But that's just my account. How do I know that that person could have done somebody else? I don't know. How do I know that's not the doctored up video?
that
It
is,
just
it
happened.
just happened right
I
now.
can't doctor it. You're kidding me. Now you're making
Not-
things up to avoid the situation.
Okay.
You are.
Why would you even say that? Why would you even say that? Why would you think we're altering our video to come up with a lie?
Because I'm asking for assistance to investigate a claim and you're not helping me.
Oh my God.
We just told you everything that happened. Why do you want me to keep writing? The guy's driving off.
But see, there's laws we have to go.
Yes.
Oh, I know that.
Right,
That's why
when-
I'm here.
When there's a crime, you go after him.
So keep yelling at me and let me. Don't-
Well, you're not helping us.
Okay. Are we good?
No.
No?
Okay. So until I can talk, then we'll discuss the situation.
I don't want no more paperwork. I already did paperwork. People call the police go after the bad guys.
Yeah.
That's how it works,
And
right?
I called and they didn't do it.
All right.
So now I'm coming to the state police because they're not enforcing their own law, and now I'm asking you to do it. And are you going to enforce the law?
If you help me enforce it.
Go ahead, tell me.
And I asked for a complaint.
No, this just occurred. So you know where he is. You know where he is, and you can go apprehend
You're
him.
not gonna get a statement to transfer it to internal affairs or anything like that. We want you to go get the bad guy right now.
Excuse me, I'm just dealing with a couple troopers that are out of an accident. 179, would you like me to give them a signal 1 or hold off until 148 or 221? Something else?
I'll give him a signal one.
Simple. So So, as I was stated before, we have rules and procedures we have to follow, correct?
Okay, so after I write my statement, what's next?
Then I will interview them. We'll go to their internal affairs, and we'll go that route.
But you're not doing anything right now, right?
I'm not gonna do anything right this second because I have to investigate.
Because he's a cop. Because he's a cop, and they can get away with whatever they want. Listen, the law applies to everybody, man. If I break the law, are you gonna get a statement and you're gonna wait days to come get to come get me?
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works. I get arrested right there and then.
What if someone gets assaulted right in the police station? Do they not pursue it right away?
I wasn't there.
Not
No,
if you're a
that's
cop.
not the question. I'm not asking if you were there or not. This is a hypothetical. If someone got assaulted in a police station, say I assaulted him right now, are you going to do something?
I don't have to answer that.
You have to
Oh my
answer us
God.
questions. You work for us.
No.
You work for us. No, who do you work for?
I've already tried to explain
Who do you work for, sir?
I've already tried to explain myself several times.
You just said no. Who do you work for?
Excuse me?
Who do you work
I
for?
work for the Rhode Island State Police.
No.
You work for the public.
For the public. And when we have a situation like we want to come here and file not file a complaint, I'm talking about let you know of a suspect on the loose that committed a crime and you do nothing?
Why do you keep saying I'm doing nothing?
Because you're supposed to go get the bad guys, not send a letter to the internal affairs guys.
Why did I send a letter? Did I say that I was sending a letter?
This is all.
Yo, they always like to give us the runaround.
Yeah, I'm not just
Look back on the footage. I never said I would send a letter. All I ever said is that I need a formal statement from you so that I can investigate it. And then what it'll do is I'll
This is the emotional core of the video. The conversation turns confrontational, not physical, but ideological. The auditor repeatedly asks a question that cuts deep. Who do you work for? He insists police are public servants, obligated to act when a crime is reported, especially when the suspect's location is known. The officers, however, remain calm and procedural, refusing to act without following internal processes.
investigate it. And then we'll go over to North Kingstown and we'll sit down with the officer.
accept this as my formal complaint right now
Right?
that officer assaulted him. Go get him.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Anselmo Morales.
Okay. So do you live in the state?
Of course.
Okay. All right. So you want to file a complaint with the state police about an assault that occurred with North Kingstown Police Department. Is that correct?
Yes.
So can you fill out a witness statement for me so that I can charge the gentleman with an assault?
Will you go get him now?
Can I do my investigation?
Don't waste my time. Will you go get him now, or will you get my paper and toss it somewhere? Tell me the truth.
Why would I do that? You're a citizen of Rhode Island.
Because you're a public employee and you're supposed to tell us the truth.
That's what I just said. You're a citizen of Rhode Island. What I do to serve and protect the citizens of Rhode Island. So if you have a formal complaint, of course I'm going to investigate it. Why wouldn't I?
Okay. Okay, so let's see.
And I apologize
It's
for that.
flickering weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix it. I apologize for that. I heard that you guys had some difficulty down the street.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I apologize. I know you guys have the cameras and you can utilize those. I'm not gonna refrain from doing that. It's not normal decorum where I can't see your face. Can I just ask you to lower them down?
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Awesome. Right. Good. So can I ask the nature of your complaint? What happened on the street?
We were in there just taking pictures, and as an officer was walking in, I record him the same way I'm doing to you right
Sure,
now.
Absolutely.
And he pushed my right hand with his
You made physical contact.
he made physical contact with me, and he
Did you
felt
prevent him from entering the door?
I did not.
You're gonna let me watch the video.
Yeah,
okay?
I did
Okay,
not.
Okay, all right.
I didn't do anything. I was
Okay.
exercising my First Amendment right to film
Sure.
in public.
Sure. Yeah.
And
there's
he-
no problem with that.
Thank you. And he touched my hand and pushed my camera like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Sure.
And then I'm trying to ask him for his name, and he goes and hides in the back. And then when he comes back out, he says, "Have a good day." And I'm like, "It's not a good day. Tell me your name. Tell me your name. What's your name?" I keep asking him 100 times for his name.
Sure.
And he just hops in his car and
Yeah.
drives away.
Yeah, I think it's his personal preference whether or not he has to give you his name to you or not.
Or badge number. He didn't have his badge.
Yeah, was it covered with a sweater or something?
He's a
like
suspect in the crime at this point too.
Huh?
He's a suspect in the crime
Because of the contact made between
Absolutely,
the two.
he has no right to put his hands on.
And I don't
anybody.
know if the way you described it, I obviously have to watch the video. If that rises to the level of some type of criminality, there is a, in the court system, what I'm saying, they look at those types of things, like assaults on varying bases depending on the injuries and things of that nature. But we can definitely get down to that. Now, did you ask when you were over there to speak with the duty sergeant or supervisor over there?
Well, right after he drove off, we went back inside and they closed the window on us.
They took at least 20 minutes for them to actually provide someone service.
The dispatch would not help us.
Okay.
They closed the window.
Sure.
Because I believe they have an idea who I am because I have a channel, and a lot of people.
Like a channel, like a television channel or
Internet channel.
Oh, internet channel. Okay, yep.
And a lot of people know who I am.
Sure.
And
Sure.
he decided to go hide in the back and not show his face. And it took them a long time before they came out and actually try to give me some type of complaint form because they can't. The law doesn't apply to them, I guess.
I understand that.
Because if I put my hands on you or another officer, I will be seriously injured. So
Yeah.
I don't understand how
Context.
he makes.
I don't know if you'd be
Physical-
seriously injured, but they would use the appropriate amount of force if they thought they were in danger for their safety and well-being. But that's a different issue. What I want to talk about is your complaint right now. So normally, the process, like if you have a problem with a state trooper, or if you have a problem with a North Kingstown police officer or a Warwick police officer, those types of complaints are handled internally. Okay, so like you would initially speak with a supervisor over at the North Kingstown Police Department, and they would draft a complaint, like an offense.
May I make a note of this though, real quick?
Sure, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is that it happened right there and then? So
Did
the
you
crime,
immediately come here or right away?
Immediately.
the crime was committed, right?
I see.
So if they didn't provide service because a crime was committed at that point, then they're failing to provide services.
I don't know the nature of their lack of so I'm not aware of their lack of. I know that what you're saying to me, and I believe you, and I believe that's your perception. Can you just lower again? I just like to see people's faces. I apologize. Yeah. So I understand what your perception of the events that occurred over there, and they have another perception. So you can understand how two people can be in the same room and see something, but they see totally something opposite, right? It's like the two sides
I get what you're
of a
saying.
shining coin.
I get what you're saying. You need absolute proofs, and I get that. And I can show you my footage too if you like.
Yeah, no, well, I definitely want to witness both people's
Yeah.
footages. But what I'm trying to get back to is the process. Okay, so for everything in the world, this process, and when we deal with crimes, and especially investigations of other police departments, we're mandated by we have to be mandated by either that police department themselves, right, or the Attorney General's office, all right, to investigate an event like that you're describing right now. Because to me, in my 19 years in law enforcement, my perception is, based on the information that you told me, is that what we're dealing with is an officer in his official capacity, right, while working in uniform, right, he was in uniform, he made physical contact with you, right?
Yes, sir.
You weren't injured as a result of that.
I was not.
Okay, all right, great. So as a result, there's no immediate pressing need right now, right, to make an arrest, is there, in your mind?
Actually, isn't
I
it
think
touch
because of
and
the-
strike?
Let me
Can't touch
are
me.
you do you feel like if the arrest was made today or tomorrow, is there any difference in that right now in your physical well-being, in your safety? Like, are you injured more? You know what I'm saying? Like you weren't injured, is it right?
I was not.
Okay, all right. So if there was an arrest to be made, like hypothetically now, right? If the arrest was made today or tomorrow, would that have any significant impact on your life right now?
Well, it makes no difference. Even if I got beat up.
But you understand.
A senior trooper steps in, shifting the tone, calmer, slower, more deliberate. He listens. He acknowledges. Then he explains. This section breaks down how police investigate police. Internal affairs. Attorney General oversight. No immediate arrest unless injury or urgent risk exists. From a procedural standpoint, it makes sense. From a citizen's perspective, It feels like delay disguised as due process. The trooper emphasizes experience, context, and totality of circumstances. The auditor emphasizes timing. This just happened.
The
Do you
difference.
understand? Well, the difference is that there's a significant difference in that, all right? Because then you're dealing with physical injuries. Right now, you're not dealing with any physical injuries, right?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So it goes back to that term process. You understand what I mean by process, right? And I understand that everybody wants immediate gratification and demands and gratification for
That's a different story. All right, like let's just say that situation, like what you're saying is if it was like days later and I wanted to file, right? If this was immediate.
It just happened.
Right.
It just happened right down the road.
So,
right, exactly.
I mean, it not like we were asking for help right away, and they failed to provide service.
I can't comment on
Right, because you're
North
not-
Kingstown.
right,
Because I'm not
so-
North Kingstown.
right, I get
but
that.
All I know is generally how police departments work.
Right.
After 19 years in the business, I can just tell you is that if something like that occurred with one of their employees, and I'm sure it's with any other industry, they would want to do a complete investigation before that employee or whatever what any type of discipline was issued or anything like that, and that's normally done internally through their internal affairs department. Okay.
Just
Now,
because he was in the capacity of a police officer at the time.
working as a North Kingstown police officer specifically.
Now, if it's me and him, now if he comes over here and says that I laid hands on him,
Are these you're saying your friend?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say if he comes over here and says and makes a statement against me, will
would
I
have
get
to get
arrested
him-
right away?
I would I would sit him down. I would get a witness statement, right? We'd get a witness.
I would
statement.
assume
and
you guys
feel-
go
and you
get
feel-
the bad guys right there.
I know that's what you would assume, and that you might be incorrect in that. And sometimes that incorrect assumption comes from television or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's just how it goes. You guys go get the bad guys
I
right
definitely
away.
don't use television as a
That's
filter.
good. That's a smart guy right there. This guy's a smart guy right here. No, but what I'm saying is there's a process to everything. So when we investigate crimes, and the way troopers are trained to investigate crimes is and police officers in general is that we want to get the whole picture, the totality of the circumstances.
No, that
is a term that
That
we
is
use.
definitely fair.
Did you ever hear that term before?
Yes,
the
sir.
totality of the circumstances. So we want to get the totality of the circumstances. So we want to get the context that it occurred in. We want to get the victim's impression of the events that occurred, and then the alleged suspect or the alleged assailant, victim. Because and any other witnesses that are in the area. Now, were there any other witnesses other than the two of you that were in the area?
Cameras.
The
Just
surveillance
the
cameras.
security cameras and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? So North Kingstown, when you guys file that complaint with North Kingstown and their internal affairs department, if that's the route you choose to do so,
We already did.
You already did.
Yeah.
So you already have a complaint on file.
Yeah, I waited a long time because they wouldn't come
So
to the
who'd you
front.
speak to over there? Do you remember the
Some
individual's
sergeant
name?
that was.
Badge 11.
All right, so he might have been the supervisor that was working over there.
He
at
didn't
the time?
identify as that. I don't believe.
Well, I mean, if he has, usually he's probably with stripes on his sleeve. He had 3 sergeants.
Seeing it's a low number, I would assume too.
He had three
Yeah,
stripes.
I mean,
He had
but I have
three
a low
stripes.
number, but that necessarily doesn't mean I'm a high
No,
supervisor.
you're not low enough. I don't
Yeah, I
think.
guess. But that necessarily doesn't mean that many things. It's different from every department and stuff like that. But he might be the desk sergeant or the duty sergeant that's on for that shift, right?
Yeah.
So that's the immediate supervisor that you would need to speak with, right? He would begin the investigation, and if it rises to that level, that his supervisor would transfer that over to their internal affairs department, and they would conduct a full investigation. So they would try to utilize the cameras that are in the room. And if they had access, they would try to gain the footage that you guys have in your hands right now. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys were willing to provide that. But you gave them...
this will be public. I mean, it's not. I'm gonna put it right online. So if they want it, I can send them a link.
But did you give them contact information? That's the key
I
thing,
did.
so they can follow up. So
I did.
name, phone number, any email, or whatever it is.
I gave
so
them.
they can call you up and say, oh, Mr. Stone, they wanted to contact you, and they could get that information from you. The digital information.
I left my name as witness 1, and I'll show up on Monday, and they recognize my face. So it's not like
I'm gonna show you the video.
The final segment lands quietly, but heavily. No arrest, no pursuit, no immediate resolution. Instead, we're left with filed complaints, contact information exchanged, promises of follow-up. The auditor makes it clear the footage will go public. Transparency becomes the last tool available. As the video closes, The audience is left unsettled, not because something happened, but because something didn't. And that's the real power of this ending. It forces the viewer to ask, is this how accountability is supposed to work? Or is this exactly the problem?